Okay. Hi, I'm Kate with Begin Big, and we're here in Malta at the first ever Summer Daze Festival. Joining me is Danny Howard, Radio 1 DJ and presenter, who's just finished up his first set, and he's going to speak to us about how you can begin big. So, Danny, first off, you've just finished your set. How are you finding Summer Daze Festival?
Yeah, first ever Summer Daze as well. I didn't realise it was the first one. I feel like I'm part of the start of something big.
That was going to be my next question.
Yeah, it's. I mean, the crowd's huge. I couldn't count exactly how many people were out there, but like 10,000 is my. I don't know if you know the actual answer.
I think we heard somewhere today it was going to be about 20,000.
20,000. Wow.
So.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't know what to expect. I didn't know it was going to be a stage that big. I mean, when I walked on, I felt like I was playing Glastonbury or something, and then to see all those heads out there. It just, when there's so many people in one place, it just looks like a sea of, like, sort of blurriness, you know, because there's so many people close together. But that's an amazing thing as a DJ, because you're like, wow, okay, I've got to entertain all these people. And I guess that's the job of a DJ, and you're sort of thrown into the lion's den almost. And that's what I had to do tonight.
And how is it comparing to, like, other festivals and venues that you've played?
Well, festivals are strange things, because you can either be on a huge stage like here, or you can be on, like, a really quaint little intimate like arena or tent, as you will. So you never know what you're going to get at a festival. And here it was very much main stage vibe. So you had to bring out big tunes, songs that people know and can sing along to, get the hands in the air to, and just get that atmosphere going. And that was definitely my job today. So
do you think you prefer like big main stage, or do you prefer the smaller crowds?
I prefer both. I mean, I'm from a club background, so I always love the intimate, sweaty vibes. But I think once you get onto the main stage, it's like, wow, okay, you're really tested as a DJ, because, yeah, okay, it's all about playing the big tunes, but at the same time, you've got a lot of people to entertain, and yeah, it's something that I thrive off, definitely, and I really enjoyed it tonight, so yeah, good.
Do you ever get nervous still when you go on stage?
Do you know what? I've not been nervous DJing for a long time. I just get more excited. And as long as you get some sort of feeling in your belly, whether it's nervousness or excitement or whatever, as long as you still get that feeling, I think that's good. I think that moment that goes, then, you know, you should totally give up DJing. But luckily, I'm still loving it. So yeah,
that's very good to know. And how about Malta? Have you had much time to enjoy the island yet?
No, I've not. It's the second time I've been to Malta. The first time I came, I remember landing thinking, wow, this is actually a beautiful country. Straight to the club, DJ'd, 7 a.m. pickup, and I was out of here. And then I landed tonight, and I was like, wow, this is a beautiful country.
Yeah.
Straight here to the gig, and then 8 o'clock I'm off again. So unfortunately, I've not had a chance to explore, but we landed, and I was like, yeah, one time I'd love to come back and just spend like a few days here, just go around the island, because it does look beautiful.
Yeah, it is, from what I've seen, yeah.
I've heard the people are good here as well. So.
I know we've been interviewing quite a few people, like locals, and just asking them what they love about living here, and they all say, you know, the people are just amazing, and it's actually quite a good, like, place to come and party for young students and stuff. And,
best of both worlds.
Things like this, yeah, definitely help, and it's free. So.
Well, it's free here.
It's free.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
I'm coming next year.
I know. I don't know if it's free next year, because it's the first one. Yeah, they've made it.
Oh yeah, just to get people in.
Get
people in. Okay.
Yeah. So, how did you actually get into DJing? When did it start for you?
Well, I always wanted to be a DJ ever since like the age of 10, because it was my older brother who had the pair of decks in our house. It wasn't actually me. It was my older brother. And
was he any good?
I bet he wished he stuck at it, you know. Yeah, he was really good. I was actually really bad. But I've always been into dance music. And because of what my brother did on the decks, it sort of gave me a little insight into what it is that a DJ did. But I didn't really understand that until I got into the clubs when I was 16, underage, I know. But I love dance music so much, I was so determined to get into the clubs by any means. And I got in there, and I was like, wow, like, this is incredible. The amazing thing that one person can have a connection with so many people in one room is just like a special thing, and something that I wanted to definitely try myself. And it wasn't until I got to university where there's a huge social side to university. Well, depending on how you look, however you do university is up to you. But the way I did it was, obviously I went to study, but at the same time, I wanted to go meet people, enjoy nights out and socialise. And
gotta have a balance.
I tried to balance it as much as I could. I just about scraped through. But it was through that experience that was like the catalyst for me being like, right, I want to actually do this properly now. And I put on some parties in our local student union, and that's how it started, really, when I went to uni.
So you went to uni to study sports science, and were you thinking, like, at the time, you know, music was just sort of a bit of a pipe dream, something on the side, and then during your time at uni, you were like, no, actually, I want to do this as a career?
Exactly that, yeah. I mean, I had two interests when I was in my teenage years. It was sports and fitness because I used to play a lot of football and tennis. Used to go to the gym quite often, not so much anymore. But I also had music. I used to sit and watch YouTube videos of my favourite DJs all through high school. And then when I got to university, because of the whole social side of it and because of being immersed in that whole sort of nightclub scene, it was like, wow, actually, I want to be the guy up there. As well as I love being a raver, but I also wanted to be the guy up there. So it just gave me something to work towards, really, and that's where it started, just being in the scene. And yeah, luckily enough, I was able to find a manager of our student union who was willing to give me a chance. And that's where it all began, really.
Gosh. So, talking about university, do you have any regrets? Is there anything you do differently?
Do you know what? There's actually nothing I would do differently about university. Do you know when I was going through high school, I remember like my dad saying to me, "University, if you go, it'll be the best days of your life." And he just felt like a boring old parent, like, "Oh, best years of your life." Like, yeah, whatever. But you know what? Looking back now, I'm like, wow, he was right. And I think it's just because, you go to get your degree, you go to become an expert in your field in whatever subject you choose, but also you meet new people, you make new friends for life, and you get experiences that you only really get during those years. So looking back, I feel like I went 100%. I think on both sides. Like, I passed my degree, I got that, and I had all those memories. So I definitely wouldn't change anything.
You did it right.
I tried.
So what advice would you have for students headed to university this year? How do you think they can begin big and make the most of their experience?
I would say make sure you remember what you went to university for, was to get your degree. Because if you go to university and don't get your degree, I think that's, pretty sad. I mean, obviously people have different circumstances, which mean they can't complete it. But like, if you go to university, make sure you have your eye on the ball with what you want to do. I had a friend that went and he partied so much that by the end of our third year, he actually lied to his mum and said he got a degree. And to this day, she still thinks he has a degree. We all keep threatening to tell her, but we haven't told her. But make sure you get your degree first and foremost. But other than that, just enjoy it. Yeah. Meet new people, get out there, go and make memories. That's all I can say.
So if you weren't DJing, what do you think you'd be doing now? Would you be doing something in sports science, do you think?
I would hope that I'd be doing something in sports science, yeah. My dream was always to become a sports psychologist, and I wanted to work with athletes in the 2012 Olympics in London. And because of the way my path sort of diverted, ended up doing DJing, doing my own events, and then ended up on Radio 1 in 2012. So although it wasn't my sort of projected destiny, it was one that was welcome, definitely, because it's changed my life really and enables me to do what I do now.
Yeah, it's a funny one because obviously when you won that, was it DJ Superstar, is that what it was called?
Yeah, they ran a competition, Radio 1, and the prize was to play for them in Ibiza that year in 2011, and I won that, and that was just the stepping stone of what I needed to then eventually get my foot in the door and do what I do now. Yeah.
Is it funny because through that you've basically fallen into like radio presenting, and like is that something you ever thought you would end up doing?
No, I mean I spent all my years listening to Pete Tong because that's where you would discover new music.
And now you present with him, right?
Yeah, exactly. It's so surreal. So back in the day, there's two places you would discover new music. It would be, well, three places actually, maybe MTV, and then sort of in the later years, the internet when that came in properly, and Pete Tong on Radio 1. So now to be presenting alongside him is very surreal.
Yeah, I can imagine like that. It must be absolutely crazy. Gosh.
It really is.
And just in terms of like early careers and like your big break came through winning DJ Superstar, Superstar DJ. You sort of had quite an instrumental role in helping like develop the careers of like young artists such as Martin Garrix and Rudimental. Is this like a particular piece of advice you would give to other aspiring artists out there?
Yeah, I mean, I'm always on the lookout for new artists and new music because that's pretty much a big part of what I do on the radio. Obviously, we play the big artists and all the new music from genres that are popular at the moment. But we've always got to have one eye on the future, and that's our job and our role at Radio 1. And in fact, Martin Garrix is on the bill here tonight. I remember receiving a tune in my inbox. It didn't have a name of who the artist was. It just said Animals. And I listened to it, I was like, wow, this is pretty big. And I remember playing it out in the clubs and people running up to me saying, what is this crazy tune? I was like, oh, it's just Animals, I don't know. Then I played it on the radio a few times, and it's just a real pleasure to be able to help in sort of set up what became one of his biggest hits, and the significant moment for Martin Garrix to where he is now, becoming the world's #1 DJ. So, it's always rewarding when you're able to discover new music and new talent, and then watch them grow.
And do you think that's something that we should all be trying to do, like, in a sense, support people that are just starting out in their careers once we have the insight and influence to actually make a difference and help them? I said, do you think that's something that we should all be trying to do, like whatever industry, when somebody's starting out in their career and they're trying to break into it, should we be looking to help and support them once we're in a position to have like the necessary influence?
100%. I mean, everyone should be looking to move forward. No one got anywhere standing still, as they say, and whether that's with yourself or if you're in a position to be able to help people, even not in music and like whatever field that it is you're in, if you can help someone, they're only going to help you as well. Yeah. So it does work both ways. So don't be selfish is another piece of advice I would give.
That's very good, yeah. And just a couple of quick fire questions. So #1 venue you've ever played?
Pasha Ibiza, because it was the first place I ever went to on the island, and then eventually I got a residency there, which was just so surreal. So it's a special place to me, Pasha and Ibiza.
Oh. And was there ever like a go-to revision track for you in school?
Revising was hard for me in school, college and university, because I was always into dance music, but as we were discussing before we did this interview, dance music is probably the worst music to listen to.
That's what I study for.
It just gets you in that sort of weekend vibe, and you just want to drop the books and go out clubbing, So I found it better just complete silence. Yeah. And people used to say to me, oh, I like to listen to this music or watch this TV program whilst revising. I'm like, how do you process the information when you've got these distractions? So I was just like a complete silence kind of guy.
Well, and my final question, your absolute career highlight?
Career highlight.
Putting you on the spot a bit here, aren't I?
Do you know what? I'm going to say something non-musical, and it was through my Radio 1 role that I was able to do this, but I played at Wembley, and I ended up in goal, and the opposite team won a penalty, and on the opposite team was Alan Shearer, and I had to go in goal and face a penalty against the England legend, who was one of the most famous penalty takers in the world. And that's a highlight for me. Yeah. Of course, I didn't save it.
You'd be in the wrong career if you had.
Yeah, I know. But that was definitely, that's one that I can think of, like off the top of my head. Like, just since being on Radio 1, like, of course, I've had the DJing, I've had meeting my heroes, I've had playing clubs, visiting new countries, meeting new people. But when you look at it overall and you think some of the crazy stuff that I've done, that's definitely one. Yeah. Like, why did I end up playing at Wembley facing a penalty against Alan Shearer,
How did you end up there? Yeah, how did you get into that position? Yeah. Well, life has, some funny twists and turns, I guess.
Another crazy moment was at my university, Edge Hill, big up Edge Hill University. I used to obviously go out every single week, almost every day there. So to go back and headline the Freshers Week, that was weird. Yeah. Because I used to go every Freshers, and it used to be amazing. But then to go back as the special guest was a bit like, I should be down there with you. What's going on? So that was surreal as well.
Surreal. Come a full circle.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Oh, well, it's great. Thank you very much for talking to us.
No problem. Thank you very much. Hi, my name's Danny Howard, and we're here at Summer Daze Festival in Malta. And remember, begin big.